Summer's almost over, but travel news is just beginning on this week's edition of Here's This. Retail U.S. gas prices continue to rise as pipelines and terminals remain closed in Texas weeks after Hurricane Harvey made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, forcing refineries to warn customers about fuel supply shortages. Gas prices have risen more than 24 cents since August 23rd before the storm began. Currently, prices are 16.7% higher than they were a year ago. If you are in a storm-affected region and are seeking stations with gas available or looking for the cheapest price, we recommend downloading the GasBuddy app. In Houston, hundreds of orphan dogs and cats have been pulled from damaged shelters and need a new place to stay while they wait for their forever home. And one airline stepped up to help. Southwest Airlines has teamed up with Helen Woodward Animal Center to donate a plane and crew to help take about 80 orphaned dogs and cats from Houston to San Diego. Linda Rutherford, Southwest Airlines Chief Communications Officer, said, "We're so happy to partner with the Helen Woodward Animal Center to extend hope to Houston by transporting shelter animals to a new home in San Diego while making additional space for family pets whose humans are currently displaced." Now on to something a bit lighter. Lyft has expanded its footprint to cover 40 U.S. states completely, 32 states more than it previously had covered fully. The ride-hailing app claims services are available to more than 94% of the U.S. population. Currently, Arkansas and South Dakota are Lyftless, and states with limited service include Washington, Oregon, Minnesota, Louisiana, Illinois, Alabama, and Vermont. That got us wondering, do you rely on ride-hailing apps like Lyft or Uber when traveling, or is your first thought to call a cab? We wanted to know what you do, so we sent our producer Brad to find out.
So when you're traveling, do you rely on Lyft for transportation when you get there, or do you call a cab?
Okay, so we have hired a car when we've come here, so we've arranged our own private hire car and then used that, so we haven't relied on taxis or any Lyft system.
Perfect. So just keep it private and arrange that all yourself.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Lyft, not Uber.
And never a cab?
No, cabs are way too expensive.
Actually never called a cab, Uber or Lyft.
It's more modern, it's easier, more
convenient. Yeah.
More easier.
Okay, do you hail a cab or use a ride-sharing app like Uber or Lyft? What do you do?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Really?
You know, sometimes in New York City, there's just a cab right there and you just gotta
New York
get
City,
it.
I think, is the exception to this question, though, because cabs are always there. I mean, I don't know. I've used Uber and Lyft in New York City as well, but I don't know. I tend to think that Uber and Lyft seems to be a little bit more on time and a little bit cleaner, dare I say.
I think that's the problem with taxis. You know, it's sad because, you know, they have less business than they probably had before because Uber or Lyft, but then they also need to spruce up their cabs and update their equipment.
That is true.
And you know, when you get into some of those cabs, if you notice, you're squeezed into the backs. A lot of times, especially in New York, they have no foot room.
I can't fit inside.
They have that like bulkhead wall.
Exactly, it's a bulkhead wall. So, you know,
Oh, my leg's up here.
it's too
Now, do
tough.
you have a preference, Uber or Lyft?
I don't think I've ever used Lyft, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I happen to like Lyft. I think they're a little bit more friendly.
And Lyft actually treats their drivers really, really well.
Stay connected to the Jet Set from wherever you are in the world. Download the Jet Set app today and fly with us via social media. You may even land on the show.